Welcome to the Gym Secrets Podcast with myself, Cale Owen, Mike Ferreira, and Ed Turney. This podcast has one simple goal: make gym owners wildly successful. We have each owned or currently own profitable gyms. And over the past 5 years, we have helped over 5,000 gyms become massively profitable through the secrets we will share on this podcast. And if you listen in closely, we guarantee that you will be able to build a wildly profitable gym. Enjoy. And as always, if you find value in this, do us a massive favor and just share this with other gym owners that you know. All right, welcome to the Gym Secrets Podcast. We got a special episode today. We've got 3 people who have closed inside of their gyms. And today we're going to talk about our favorite objection overcomes during the sales process, during the sales appointment. And we're going to break down a couple different ones and walk through why we use them, what they are, so that you can take them and use them in specific scenarios when the objection comes up. So, Ed, you had the idea on this one. Let's kick it off. What is your favorite objection overcome? Let's start with the objection and then what's your overcome?
Sure. So price, I think, is the major objection in most sales meetings, right? There's price and then I got to think about it. So price, in my early career, I would argue with them. I'd be like, no, it's not expensive and here's why. And then I flipped that after learning from some of the best to be like agreeing with them. And so it goes something like this. Hey, that's really expensive. I don't think I can afford it. And instead of saying, yeah, but I would say yes, and the difference is I'm agreeing with them now, because the rule in sales is you never argue with the person. So it's like, how do you not argue with them when they say it's expensive, right? Because it's like, well, it is. So you go, yes, and that's exactly the reason why you're going to be successful. And you take a really long pause because they look at you like you're crazy. And you go, really fast story, Jamie. I had a woman the other day who signed up effortlessly and the price wasn't an issue. I found out she's like loaded. Do you know what happened with her results? She got terrible results. The money didn't actually mean anything to her. The fact that this is a lot of money for you relative to your life means you're going to pay so much attention to your results. And that's why we charge these prices. So the fact that you're nervous about the investment means you're really going to get results. Does that make sense? Awesome. What card do you want to use?
So simple.
But it's the yes and. Yes, it is expensive. And that's why you're going to be successful, because of the price. Because you're going to pay attention.
I love it. All right, I'll share mine. It's Ed's favorite savage close. So mine is I need to think about it. I'm going to set context here. Most of my closes, just due to timing and scenario of what I was doing, were group closes. So I was always doing group appointments. I rarely had a one-on-one appointment. So imagine you're sitting in a room with 5 to 10 other people and you hear Susie on the side. You got other people raising their hand, ready to start. She's on the side. She's like, cool. I come to her and I'm like, hey, Susie, great. Ready to get going? And she's like, I need to think about it. I start attacking those objections just at the base level. Everything's good. I just keep hitting her hard with a couple different things. This savage close is what I use to close people at the last possible moment. Like, they will not bend to any of the other objections. So Susie's like, I got to talk to my husband. I got to think about whatever those are, meaning she needs to leave. She's using it as a smokescreen to leave. As she would stand up and she's walking towards the door, I would say, totally understand, Susie. And my voice, my tone would drop super soft. Okay. Tonality is really key here. And I would say, cool. Totally understand, Susie. Just a heads up. If you walk out that door today, you're never allowed to come back. And then I would pause for a second. And then I would say, because if you decide to come back, that means that you had 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in, which means you're not fully committed to all the goals that you told me earlier. I only allow people on my floor that get amazing results that are fully committed. Because in the past, what I've done is I've allowed people to walk out that door, think about it, knowing that they didn't need to think about it, that they've been thinking about it for the previous 3 to 5 years or 10 years, just like you, Susie. And then what happens is they come back and they step foot on the floor and they're like, yeah, I almost didn't do it, but I decided I'm going to try it out. And they don't fully commit. And then what happens is they're great for the first week. But then when they have to make that workout at 6 a.m. on a Wednesday and they're tired because your kids have been driving you crazy and you've been working, you hit the snooze button and you miss that workout. You're like, it's okay. I just missed that workout. And then Friday comes along and you're like, I have this event. I'm just going to pass on that. Then the next week, you've had a long weekend. You've been partying with your friends or going out to dinner and hanging with the kids and doing a bunch of things. And then Monday rolls around and you're like, no, I'm too busy today. I'll do it on Tuesday. And then you hit the snooze button on Tuesday because Monday was a long day and everyone hates Mondays. And then all of a sudden you're looking at me like this program doesn't work. But here's the deal, Susie. Everyone on my floor gets exceptional results because they're 100% committed, because I'm 100% committed to you and my staff is 100% committed to you, and we'll do everything possible to get you the results that you just told me that you wanted. But if you walk out that door, I will never allow you to come back to my facility. I'm happy to point you to another facility, but I only work with 100% committed people. If you're ready and willing to commit today to yourself, to the person you want to become, then I would be more than happy to work with you. If not, no hard feelings. I wish you the best. I can reach back out and point you to another facility.
And that would work all the time. All the time.
Yeah. It crushed. I I had people literally opening the door to leave, and I would hit them with that. They would stand there in the door. And then they would come back in, and everyone's like, if you're in a room and you say that with a room full of people, you close the entire room.
I was just going to say that affected the room, right?
Close the entire room.
Back. Yeah. 100%.
You close the entire room.
Conviction that you showed up with in front of them. Unreal.
It was my favorite.
Just to wrap this up for everybody listening to this, like, obviously that's not like a verbatim script. You're just saying what you've said so many times, like in your own way, right? Yeah. But it's important, like, you can hear how much Cale believes in the results he's going to, like, you can hear how serious he is. He's not being a dick, even though it comes across as it, which is why it's like the pattern interrupt. And it's like, I'm trying to save your life. That's what I hear. I'm trying to save your life through this process. And like, that's the thing. If you don't believe that strongly in what you're selling, fix that shit first. And then the tone and the words will come naturally.
Your doubt in your own product will show up in your sale.
And I had a stack of undeniable proof.
Yeah. Or your conviction on the other side of it, your conviction will show 100%. Up in your sale as well. Yeah. I think for me, thinking about it, it comes back to, Ed, like you brought up the price objection, certainly, just obviously really common, but specifically when somebody would bring up, this is a lot of money, like that statement, this is a lot of money. And I think just walking them through the best case, worst case scenario is always so simple and so helpful to just reduce that anxiety, bring their guard down and get them to realize like, hey, what do I have to lose? Right. And so somebody says, hey, this is a lot of money. You just agree with them. Just like you said, Ed, right? You agree with them. It is a lot of money. And really for me, when I'm, right there, right about to take that leap of something I know is really going to be good for me, my future, something I've been thinking about for a long time and I know is really what I want to do, but I have that just last minute reservation. What's helpful for me is to think about what's the best case scenario and what's the worst case scenario that could come out of this. And, so the best case scenario is we take your $600, right? We get you in an incredible workout experience. You get this super simple, but absolutely incredibly tasty meal plan. You start losing weight every week. A month from now, 2 months from now, you're down 20, 30 pounds. You're looking great. You're feeling great. You're looking in the mirror. You're buying, the new clothes. And you really are the Julie that you want to be, like you told me that, that you said you've been dreaming about being again. We deliver on that. You find your new, home and you're just on a roll. And we're working towards that 60-pound long-term goal. That's the best case scenario, right? What's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario, we take the $600, we send it to, Algeria. You show up to the gym, it's not here anymore. The building's gone or whatever, right? And at the end of the day, or you come to classes and obviously, you hate everything about it. All these testimonials are obviously, are a lie, and you just don't get the results, right? You end up not getting the results that we talked about. And at the end of the day, if that's what plays out and you don't like your experience here, you don't get the results, this isn't for you. I'm personally going to pull out a check. I'm going to write you the $600. I'm going to hand it back to you. Okay. And we're going to be able to part ways from there. Right. Mm-hmm. And, I think it's reasonable to think that somewhere in between, okay, and given the hundreds of stories that we have, is probably closer to the best case scenario is going to play out for you. What do you have to lose? Right. And so being able to walk them through the worst case, best case scenario, I think has really helped them be like, you know what? I'm my own worst enemy. I keep getting in my own way. I'm making up all these stories. And at the end of the day, I got to do this. Right.
Love it.
You throw a little humor in there. Usually it just helps out.
Yep. And that guarantee crushes, by the way. I'll write you a check if you don't like it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely smashes.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, cool, guys. Well, those were our favorite objection overcomes. As of right now, we probably got more stewing around in there that we can pull back. But
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hope you guys love this and find value in this. As always, leave us a review. And more importantly, please share this with another gym owner. We will catch you on the next episode of Gym Secrets.